Over the past 3 months, the stock market has really been a tale of two markets. We see a lot of green. We see some companies up double digits, in some cases triple digits. For example, AMD is up 109%, NVIDIA is up 18.8%, Broadcom is up 21.6%. One of our favorites, Micron, in just 3 months is up 96%. Intel's up 149%. Amazon's up 32%. Google's up almost 30%. So a lot of the tech is holding up the stock market. But also in the past 3 months, we see a lot of red. We see Home Depot down about 23%. Meta down 7.8%. Wells Fargo, American Express, a lot of companies are down double digits. So the market is very confused. The market is very mixed. It's very tech heavy, a lot of growth going into tech, which sets up a wonderful opportunity for us to go in and find some quality companies that have just been beaten down that we can get some pretty decent bargains on. And that is precisely what we're going to do in this video. We're going to look at 10 companies that are at 52-week lows. We're going to try to find out what's the best bargain among these 10 companies. Now, the first company that we're going to look at is Best Buy, ticker BBY. Best Buy has a growth score at Interflame Finance at 3.9. If you're new to this channel, what we do is we look at these different growth metrics for companies. We score the companies based on those growth metrics from -10 to +10, where -10 is the worst company in the world, +10 is the best company in the world, and 0 is neutral. So we cut out a lot of the companies that are trading at 0 or below. We want to focus on some of the best quality companies. And so Best Buy at the very bottom of the barrel, the numbers that do stand out for Best Buy is they have very nice free cash flow yield at 9.6%. Remember, we like that to be 7% or higher. They're expected to grow their top line at just 1.5%, but their bottom line at 10% almost. That's very nice to see every single year for the next 5 years. Their forward PE, dirt cheap at 8.1. Their return on equity, one of the nicest in this list at 37%. PEG ratio could be better. It's a 1.4, not too terrible. We do like it to be under 2, but we really like when PEG ratios are under 1. Next company is Roper with a growth score at 4.2. PEG ratio a little higher than Best Buy at 1.5, but they do have very nice profit margins, very healthy at 21%. They're expected to grow their top line at almost 11% every year for the next 5 years. Their free cash flow yield is above 7% at 7.6%, so nice numbers for Roper. Infosys, now they do have a very concerning PEG ratio at 2.6. Their forward PE is quite nice at 13.9. Their 5-year forward PE, very nice at 11.8. Their return on invested capital is phenomenal, one of the best of these 10 companies, 37%. Their top line is expected to grow 5.7% every year for the next 5 years. Their bottom line, 4.5%. So mid-single digits, not too terribly fantastic, but they do have free cash flow yield above 7% at 7.5%. Lululemon with a growth score at Interflame Finance of 6.0. PEG ratio under 2. Again, that could be better, could be closer to 1 or even under 1, but their forward PE at just a 9.4 and their 5-year forward PE over here at 6.2. Dirt cheap valuations for Lululemon. They're expected to grow their top and bottom lines mid to upper single digits. Free cash flow yield could be a little bit better, just at 6.2%. We'd like that to be 7% or higher. But their return on equity, the second best of all these companies at 34%. Accenture tied with Lululemon at a 6.0 for growth. Free cash flow yield coming in at 12.6%. That's the best of all these companies. They are expected to grow their top and bottom lines mid to upper single digits. Profit margins looking okay at 10.6%. And PEG ratio, not too bad at 1.4. The software company SAP has one of the best PEG ratios of all these companies at just 0.8. Their top line is expected to grow 10% every year. Their bottom line expected to grow 16.7%. And we are seeing very low valuations on a 5-year basis at just 10.1. Now we got a spicy stock here. We got McCormick MKC with a growth score of 6.8. Profit margins very healthy at 23.1%. They are expected to grow their revenue at 16.7% every year for the next 5 years. Now their forward PE is looking pretty decent at 14.0, but you look at their 5-year forward PE at 5.4, and McCormick is obviously trading very dirt cheap. The Amazon of Latin America, Mercado Libre, MELI, has a growth score at 7.3. Top line expected to grow 17.7%. Bottom line, 29.1% every year for the next 5 years. Their free cash flow yield is basically 7%. And while their forward PE is in the 30s, their 5-year forward PE is 11.5. We look at their PEG ratio, close to 1.0. It's at a 1.1, and we can see why Mercado Libre is a very nice growth company. Now, if we look at the row of Boston Scientific, ticker BSX, we don't really see anything that stands out. There's nothing highlighted, but the individual numbers may not say what the big picture is. We zoom out, we look at the numbers, and they're really good for Boston Scientific. PEG ratio at 1.0, forward PE at just a 14.5, their 5-year forward PE at a dirt cheap 10.6. Their top line is expected to grow 10.7%, their bottom line almost 16%. Free cash flow yield could be better at just the 4.1%, but very nice healthy profit margins at 17.3%. So while nothing individually stands out for Boston Scientific, the overall picture is it's looking like a very nice growth play. And finally, the payment platform TOST with the highest Interflame Finance growth score at 7.8. PEG ratio very low at 0.4, 5-year forward PE under 6. Their top line is expected to grow 19.5%. Their bottom line, 42.7% every year for the next 5 years. Free cash flow yield leaves something to be desired just at 4.9%, but their return on invested capital at a 102.3%, looking very nice for TOST. Now, before we jump into the safety metrics, if you're getting anything out of this video so far, please consider liking. That would really help out the channel. And make sure you subscribe to the channel so you never miss a video and you can keep coming back for more of your favorite companies being analyzed at Interflame Finance. Now, when it comes to safety, the lowest score is 4.4. That belongs to Mercado Libre. We do see that they are trading at a discount, however. Their historical 5-year PE ratio is about 6.7, currently trading for a 41. So that is helping its safety score, but without any sort of dividend and a beta above 1, not looking too good when we compare it to the other companies in this list. And I do want to point out that Mercado Libre does have a relatively high debt to equity at 1.9. Boston Scientific out the gate with a 5.4 safety score, trading at a huge discount to its historical PE, usually trading for also 6.7, but PE ratio at 22.2. That's really boosting its safety score right now. They don't pay a dividend, but they do have a beta significantly under 1 at 0.6. And we do note that their debt to equity is just 8.4. So these things together for Boston Scientific looking really nice for its safety. Best Buy paying an astonishing 6.9% dividend yield. Now, they have grown their dividends for 21 consecutive years. Their payout ratio is creeping up there at 75.5%. But because not all companies have years of dividend growth and payout ratios, we're not going to include these in the safety scores. Same goes for the interest coverage. We do show the values just to show them, but we do want to point out that they're not being used in the scoring system currently. Best Buy is trading for a slight discount relative to its historical PE, historically about 14, currently trading for 11. Roper Technologies has a safety score of 7 even. Their beta is 0.8. They do pay a dividend at 1.1%. They have grown their dividends for 34 consecutive years. Payout ratio, very healthy, just 22%. But again, those numbers are not influencing the safety score. But just by looking at them, it does help give us conviction in this play. Debt to equity at a very low 0.6. Now, Lululemon and safety are usually words that don't go together in the same sentence, but we look at their PE ratio at just a 9.1, compare that to their 5-year average at 34, and Lululemon is currently trading for a massive multiple discount. Second best price to sales ratio at just 1.3, super low debt to equity at 0.4, and their beta under 1 helps its safety score. And the return on assets for this company is 18.0%. So all pulled together, Lululemon looking like a pretty decent safety play, as a matter of fact. The software giant SAP doesn't have anything that individually stands out, but when you look at everything collectively, it has a pretty decent safety score at 8.0, trading for about half its normal multiple. Historically about 45.5, currently trading for just under 22. Debt to equity nice and low at 0.2. They do pay a dividend yield about 1.7%. They've grown their dividends for 2 consecutive years. And their beta being under 0.8 also helps its safety score. Infosys also trading at a discount. Average 5-year PE at 25, currently trading for 14.6. Very low debt to equity at 0.1. Dividend yield at 4.1%. Very nice. Beta just at a 0.4, so not moving a lot with the market, and return on assets, second best of all these companies at 16.6%. Next up is TOST. Again, this is not a company that we usually associate with safety, but we look at the huge discount we're getting based on its multiple, currently trading for a 34.2, whereas historically it trades in the 60s. And what's really helping out is the fact that they have basically no debt compared to their equity. The spice company McCormick has an 8.5 Interflame Finance safety score, very low price to earnings ratio. As a matter of fact, the lowest of all these companies at just a 7.5. And when we compare that to their historical average at 27.8, massive discount in McCormick. Beta very low at 0.7. Dividend yield at 4.1%. They've grown their dividends for 39 consecutive years. Their payout ratio is very nice at just 40.6%. Their debt to equity at just 0.7. All told, McCormick looks like a pretty decent safety play. But Accenture gets a 10.0, the very rare perfect safety score for a company. And we can see why. Their PE is 13.1. Historically, it's about a 29, so massive discount there. Price to sales, nice and low at 1.4. Very low debt to equity at 0.3. 4% dividend yield. They've grown their dividends for 6 years. Their payout ratio is 51%, not looking too high. Beta just a touch over 1 at 1.1, and the return on assets 11.5%. So this is another company that nothing individually stands out when compared to the other companies, but the whole entire package, the whole safety package for Accenture makes it look pretty attractive, and they get a perfect score of 10.0. Now, we have quite the mix of stocks, and so we're not looking at pure growth plays. We're not looking at pure safety plays. We have a mix. So what we're going to do is we're going to weight the growth scores and the safety scores equally at 5 even. So we're going to look at their combined score by looking at the average of those two scores, and we're going to look at what the intrinsic value of these companies is. And what the intrinsic value is basically an estimate of what the company should be trading at based on their market fundamentals, their balance sheet, and their expected growth. If you go down to the description of this video, you will find 4 different intrinsic value calculators. We show you how to build them out in Google Sheets. This is an absolutely essential tool for any investor to have in their toolbox to know that you're getting a decent price, that you're getting a bargain on some of your favorite companies that you have high conviction in. And so first up is Best Buy. They have a combined score of 5.0. While 0 is neutral, we like scores to be 5 and higher because we want to make sure that we're getting quality companies. We want to have decent conviction. Now, the current stock price is $55.52. On a bear case, we think that there's even a 6% margin of safety for Best Buy, that they should be trading for about $59 per share. Base case, a really nice 30% margin of safety. They should be trading for $79. And the bull case, if everything goes right for Best Buy, a $108 price tag for Best Buy would be a 49% margin of safety. Now, we think that Best Buy should be trading for $79 per share, and it's a little more bullish than the analysts on Wall Street. There are 20 analysts that cover this company, and the mean value is about $72.50 for a price target for this company. We do see over the past year that they have fallen about 20%. It does not look like a bottom is consolidating for this company, so they might have more room to fall, but something to definitely put on our watch list. With a combined score of 5.6, we have Roper Technologies, and the margins of safety look very nice for this company. 20% in the bear case, a 41% margin of safety in the base case, and in the bull case, a 56% margin of safety. So we estimate that Roper should be trading for about $5.31 per share. Now, our estimate of $5.31 is more bullish than the analysts on Wall Street. The mean target price for Roper is about $4.53. That would be a 43.5% increase in the stock price from where it's currently at. We do see that they bounced off of the bottom in February of this year, and they rose a little bit, and they're starting to fall back down. But the overall consensus on Wall Street is that Roper Technology is a buy. Mercado Libre has a combined score of 5.8, and we see for this company very healthy margins of safety based on these estimates. Even in the bear case, a 51% margin of safety, we think that Mercado Libre should be trading for about $4,300 per share. Now, that is incredibly bullish. That is incredibly optimistic. Wall Street analysts have this at about a $2,300 price target. They are saying strong buy, but not nearly as optimistic as we think. And we can see in the past year, Mercado Libre is down about 39% overall. Boston Scientific has a combined score of 6.5. Very nice margins of safety across the board. We think, based on our estimates and analysis, Boston Scientific should be trading for about $88 per share. That would be a 40% margin of safety. And $88 per share is very much in line with Wall Street expectations. That would be about a 60.5% increase in the stock price. The 32 analysts that cover Boston Scientific say that it is a strong buy. We see over the past year that Boston Scientific was basically flat, and it just kind of took a tumble in February, down about 48% over the past year. With a 6.6, Lululemon comes in with about a 56% base margin of safety, should be trading based on our estimates at $272 per share. And this is just another company that we are very optimistic on, much more so than the analysts. So we say $272 as the base case. Wall Street have this at about a $179 price target. That would be a 48% increase in the stock price. The overall consensus, though, is that this is a hold. And yes, we do see that Lululemon over the past year is down almost 62%. Infosys has a combined score of 6.7. In the bear case, we're expecting a 20% margin of safety, base case 41%, and bull case 55%. Now we expect about a $20 price target, but the analysts say more like $14.68. That's still a 24% increase in the stock price from where it's currently at, but the overall consensus on Wall Street among the 12 analysts that cover it is that this is a hold. In the past year, Infosys has fallen almost 34%. In fourth place is SAP with a combined score of 7.2. We are expecting about a $294 price target for this company. That would give us a 45% margin of safety. Now, $294 is a little more optimistic than the consensus on Wall Street. Wall Street says about $258. That would be a 60.5% increase in the stock price. We see over the past year, SAP has fallen about 43%, but the overall consensus among analysts is that not only is there a 60.5% expected increase in the stock price, but that this is a buy. Now, the bronze medal goes to McCormick with a 7.7 combined score and a base margin of safety of 51%. We are expecting about a $93 price target for McCormick. Now, Wall Street does say buy it at 2.1, but a $93 price target that we have at Interflame Finance is especially bullish, especially when you consider that the average on Wall Street is about a $61, $62 price target. That would still be a 35% increase in the stock price, but we do look at McCormick. But it was pretty flat for the past year, but it fell off a cliff after late February, early March, and it's just been on a downward trajectory ever since. The silver medal goes to Toast with a combined score of 8.0. We are expecting about a $71 price target for this company. That would be a 69% margin of safety as our base case. So $71 is pretty optimistic. That's a lot of conviction in this company. While Wall Street does have this as a buy, they have a more down-to-earth price target of about $34 per share. That is still a 54% increase in the stock price. And we see over the past year, Toast has fallen over 50%. So had you invested in Toast 1 year ago, you've lost half of your investment in this company. Perhaps we at Interflame Finance should wait for more of a bottom to consolidate on this company, but right now, Toast is looking pretty attractive based on our scoring system. And first place goes to Accenture, tied with Toast at 8.0. They have a margin of safety on a base case of 62% with a $416 price target. And 416 is a very optimistic price target. The average consensus on Wall Street is that it's closer to about 249. That is still a 56% increase in the stock price. The overall consensus on Wall Street is that Accenture is a buy, and they have fallen about 50% over the past year. Now, this would be a great place to remind you that nothing that we say on this channel is financial advice. We are not telling you to buy, hold, or sell anything in your portfolios. Always do your own research and always do your own due diligence before buying, holding, or selling anything in your portfolio. Now, what we're going to do in this video is a little bit different than what we normally do. We are going to require that if we're going to invest in any of these companies, we're going to have a minimum combined score of 7.5. These are companies that are falling. We want to make sure that we have very high conviction in these companies. We don't want to lose our shirts if these stocks continue to plummet and fall. We want to invest in only the best of the best. We also want to require a minimum base margin of safety of 30%. Typically on this channel, we want a minimum combined score of 5 and a minimum base margin of safety of 20%, but we are really increasing these thresholds in this video to make sure that we're not catching falling knives, that we're buying the best of the best companies, high quality companies, and we want to make sure that we have a high margin of safety. So if we at Interflame Finance were to invest $1,000 into these companies, only 3 fit the bill. And in third place is McCormick with a combined score of 7.7. That base margin of safety of 51% means that we would invest about $273 of our $1,000 into this company. Next up would be Toast with a combined score of 8.0 and that base margin of safety of 69%. That means that we would allocate about $383 or 38.3% of our $1,000 into Toast. And tied with Toast is Accenture, also at an 8.0. Their base margin of safety is slightly lower at 62%. So of our $1,000, we would invest 34.4% or $344 into Accenture. So there you have it, folks. Of the 10 quality companies that we looked at that were at 52-week lows, there are only 3 that fit the bill that would make it onto our watch list. Let us know in the comments below, what are you investing in? Are you interested in these 3 companies? Did the other 7 companies look attractive to you and a little appetizing for your portfolios? What are you most excited about in the market these days? Let us know in the comments. Again, if you got anything out of this video, please consider liking. That would really help out the channel. And make sure you subscribe so you never miss an Interflame Finance analysis video. We appreciate you being here, and we'll see you in the next one.